You already know what time it is, ladies and gentlemen. It has begun. Here's the handlers, 2 of them. Got my shit done quick though today. Let's see how much more faster I can get this shit done. Another gang stalker. Sorry for that. If that was a hiccup cue or cough cue, sorry. I'm smoking a cigarette right now. A little tired. Had a long day yesterday and try to do some grinding, put my pool game in. Lost track of time. Only got a few hours sleep, but still grinding at work. Getting my stuff done quick. Trying to, at least. These little transit things always meet up with me. There's like, I've never seen them that much, but now I see them all the time. And I don't even think they're actual vehicles for transit. They're just gang stalking vehicles. They do it with police cars too and all that shit. Another gang stalker right there. She's on her phone. There we go. We got another guy right there by the white car. Yeah, all day affair. Yesterday it was a whole gang of them. Holy shit. I went to the pool hall. Here we go. The guy's sweeping in the background. That's one of their little skits they do. Watch the show, guys. It's always timing. You guys ever go into a building or a facility and it's everybody? There's hundreds in a building and it's everybody. It's like, where do they learn this from? It's a learned behavior, obviously. It's not something that is by nature. This is a learned uh, form of psychosis, coercive persuasion. Uh, so yeah, it's definitely a behavior that was learned. Oh, that the speaking of behavior that's learned, when I was there was a guy with his wife, and and see him hand signal. There's a guy with his wife and his kid, and when I was trying to shoot, they were like, "Oh, they do the decibels like in a movie, when like different parts of the movie is louder than other parts of the movie for no reason. It was like that to like put you on suspense. It's a form of uh like a suspense. What's going to happen next? It's to put you in a fight or flight response, lightly in a way. I mean, if that's theoretically sound, but the thing with it is like every time I would shoot, the kid would come over, be like, "Look, Dad, look," and then his dad came over and was like, "Oh, look at his face when he shoots," and I got up and I was just like, "Well, go ahead, you can pass by." "Oh no, we're just gonna watch you shoot. Look how he holds this. Look at his stick." He changed the word, and he didn't think I caught that, but I did. There goes another stalker, silver car. They do the slow rolling shit. It's creeping. Here we go. This car is right next to me. Weird. And it's crazy. They're only in there for a few seconds, and then I know it was Saturday night and everything, but it was weird. I had a table that was kind of the center of the table, but everyone shot pool tables or chose a table around me. They didn't go to the other far side of the table, and I didn't really have a choice of where to shoot at a table. They just gave me just shoot at this table. I'm like, okay, weird. You know, I don't know. It's just find it very odd, and it's messed up because it's like with these people, it's like that movie, The Stanford Experiment, where they feel they're important because they've joined this and learned kind of mechanism to control people, persuade, and feel awkward, confused, and all that kind of shit. And that's how I kind of was for a second. But you gotta just really dig your roots deep. Here goes another stalker coming in, and you have to like get in the cognitive state in that certain perspective and perimeter of just your own world. Look at the car backing up in the background. um, because if you get in the comfortable mode, sooner or later you'll get comfortable with always feeling anxiety, releasing stress hormone, cortisol, which is kind of related to like dopamine in a way. The receptors almost read the same actually, so um, it'll be feeding off of cortisol instead of dopamine, and you're constantly will be angry, tired, stressed out, uh, comfortable with being depressed, and unmotivated, isolated, and you gotta fight it. You gotta put yourself in the world, and be around people, even if it's uncomfortable. Make it comfortable for your own world. Forget everything around you. This shit don't go away. I don't care what anyone says. My boy DB, Gang Stalking Simulation, he pointed in a video where he said, you know, um, all these people saying, oh, if you just ignore it, it goes away. No, that's just living in delusion, just like these people. This is a delusion, too. They act like it's not happening, but it's happening. It's always going to happen. You can't get away from it. Um, we've been chosen, whether it be by slander, whether it be by, just at random, or they're just doing target practice. So I looked up Washington State's InfraGard. InfraGard is all West Coast and Northwest Coast. And funny thing that it is, it's very accepted now. That's why all the people are moving away from California, Oregon, Washington, Idaho, and some parts of Montana. Utah, it's there too. Um, Las Vegas for sure. Some parts of Arizona, but all the all the West Coast and Northwest Coast, it's here. And what's funny about it is, it's almost like it's chosen out like a game reserve. You know, this is where you can do your psychological hunting, and they allow these people. If you're part of a secret society, it's pretty much just free game. You're allowed to do this. Uh, it's encouraged. It keeps community quote unquote safe. But the thing is sooner or later, the money's gonna run out, and everyone's gonna go bonkers. The thing with this is, we need to get rid of uh, uh, a lot of the structures of government. Um, I'm not saying get rid of government completely, but a lot of it, because you ever notice that they are not in the limelight anymore? Government is just all in your face, everything. There should never even be mention of anything about government on uh, on TV, or any of that kind of stuff. This is very overbearing. It's a advertisement that's just strenuous. It's there should be actually no mention of government. We should be going on with our lives, and that's very far fetched. Here we go, more guys. And it's the car next to me, of course. Um, a lot of the government agencies should be out of the picture. I believe, because it's sorry, it's a legitimate cough. Um, because it encourages overabundant spending on government programs that benefit criminals, and here we go, more. We got a motorcycle. It encourages overspending, and it causes inflation. Causes people to be get a paycheck with ease, without really doing much, while essential workers, like hospital workers, stuff like that, they have to pay higher taxes because they're in a higher tax bracket. Um, People who work like me, that's working just around below middle class, uh, you have to work very, very hard, and your rent is very, very high. Um, and inflation happens with that, because they want to do what is it called, uh, uh, housing regulation, where what is it, where they can cap the how much rent, capping rent or whatever. You can't go over a certain amount of rent and charge them. Uh, but even doing that, you have to pay the workers more. So sooner or later, as people lose sight of what's going on, rent goes up. And sooner or later, they'll strip that law when a Republican gets in, and they'll strip that law away because Republicans are very greedy people. But more of the libertarian conservatives are actually more, they could be bipartisan with people, which is very nice. More of the old school Democrats I liked, but I'm more of a libertarian conservative. I believe rule of law, where you cannot repeal certain things that are the foundations of what makes us human beings. Um, what is it? There's a section code 248 USC. I forgot what the code is, but there's a stalking regulation. If you get caught stalking people, even if it's in groups or whatever, it's just 8 years in prison, mandatory. Uh, but if you go to California, you'll get a slap on the wrist. Washington, same thing. Oregon, same thing. Look, they already got rid of the regulations of drugs there, so that's causing a lot of crime out there too. Um, if something's over or under a certain amount, in stealing, it's just a misdemeanor. There's no felony, no nothing. So with that being, they want to go ahead and just cause crime. And speaking of crime, this is a crime in itself because it'll cause people to freak the hell out. Look at people who went on rampages of shooting people or just doing whatever they want, going on drugs, and it causes crime in society. And what happens with that too is they arrest people, and the private sector of prisons and lawyers and all that, they get money, and the state has to pay the state lawyers too. So the more they can create crime and arrest people and all that, the more the state can make. What is it like? I don't know. I forgot what it was, but I remember I was watching a documentary on people who, juvenile delinquents, just petty crimes in the southern states. Um, there's a private prisons or private jails, juvenile halls or whatever jails. They would keep them way over the extended time that they needed to be there. And what happened was, uh, you know, they get like what $10,000 every other month or something like that per, you know, person in jail or whatever. So that's that plan right there. But the thing is, what they want to do in jail and all that is make sentences lower so they do crime and then they get out and they do crimes again and then they go through the process again of uh, the state paying the lawyers and all this it's just it's more money and more private sector money going back in the system, while the poor have to pay inflated goods and all that kind of things. And it's not good. It's just the rich get richer, the poor get poorer. And all the rich people, they own all the media, so they're out of you'll never even know. Um, when I was living in San Diego, I remember this guy. He lived in Tijuana, and he was a Christian. He knew about organized harassment, and uh, he said, "Hey, look in the hills. This is where all the rich people live, and they got their own community. They have to have their own. They have to have a different identity, so no one would know who they are in public. And I'm guessing this is where they might learn as a kid. They get they don't go to school for that many hours, uh, but they learn all the curriculum they need. They learn how to do easier ways of, doing math and all that. He was just breaking it down. Um, and what happened? What did he say next? That yeah, they just live in their own communities. I mean, they're super rich and they just drive around in normal cars, so no one would know. I mean, you're talking about these are millionaires, probably possibly billionaires. I don't know. But yeah, it was in a really really big, uh, you know, barbed wire fenced area, but then it was way like miles. I mean, tens, 20s, 30s miles back. You could barely see the building, but yeah, that's where he said there was a school where the elite learn shit so easily. Um, you never notice in public schools how they changed the curriculum, how uh, Common Core math they made it way more difficult, so people wouldn't even know how wanna do it. So it dumbs them down, so they say fuck it, I don't want to do it that way. But if you try to do it just the easy way, like your times tables, it's wrong. The liberal, socialist, Comifesto system made it that way, and it has to be taught that way, or they don't get, you know, uh, their job. Someone else will replace them. And it's messed up, dude. These things it don't stop. It just keeps going and going and going and going. Ain't ever gonna stop. Came here to get away from all this stuff, but it's everywhere, man. There was a guy I used to talk to, Night of Thunder. He was telling me about how in Greece there's no gang stalking and it's outlawed there, I guess. Um, a lot of parts of, or there's not a lot, there's this part of Italy where it's completely banned because I guess, there's a lot of gypsies and mob type people. It didn't matter. They all came from different countries and they performed this stuff to put fear in communities and flush people out of their businesses and stuff. There was another one. Um, so it got outlawed there. I forgot what the place was, but it's not completely outlawed in Italy. That's what the weird thing was. I thought it was all Italy. No. Um, but yeah, it's wild. It's just you don't. They still probably do it, but they just don't get caught. Oh man, they're everywhere. It just doesn't stop. It's so annoying, and to me, some days I just can't even like focus. I just want to go home and just lay down. But you know what? I get up and force myself to do shit, and then I smile, and then I start to feel better. You know, try to keep your health, your cognitive thinking. Get uh, stuff that is amino acids for the brain, vitamin B6. Eat super brain food. Get your probiotics because all this stuff like McDonald's and I'm looking at McDonald's, Taco Bell, and all this stuff. It puts your body in a acidic. Uh, it makes your body acidic because of the preservatives in it and carbohydrates and meat. It'll slow down your metabolism. That causes your body to go acidic. Also, get probiotics and eat a lot of veggies. Minimize your carbs and protein. Eat smaller meals. Uh, get your brain going good. I mean, I personally would go find stuff that's good for your brain, because they want you to be in comfortable mode, being comfortable with being stopped, and it's okay. Be creative too. Bring that creative side, because that's what they're doing too, is getting rid of the creativity. Do something creative, so your brain can have some access and you know a route of just knowing who you are as a person. More stalkers. Great. It's weird how I used to have, you know, DB gang stalking simulation. He said to me one time, and he said it in one of his videos that like back in the '90s, early 2000s, there was no one in the streets. There would be no one out here right now going back and forth, like an atom, you know, going different ways, and out, in circles, almost like a circles. It's circles and within a circle within a circle. Um, you know, it would just be streets cleared, completely cleared. Now look at all this shit. I've never seen this. This is uh, our federal government, uh, private sector influencing these people and allowing them to do this. It's like that movie, The Purge. They pay them, hey, if you go out into the world and you know perform during the purge, we'll give you money for every person that you stalk or every person that you throw off. Here we go, white van. Um, that's how I see it. Is the government in secret allows these people to do it because we have a new form of government right now. Um, Me personally, uh, with this whole thing, I'd rather prefer that we had the last president because he put his foot down. Yeah, he was arrogant and shitty personality, and sometimes but he really did come around from what I've seen him before in the early 2000 or mid 2000, or was it almost to 2010, 2007, 8, somewhere around there. Um, he was very arrogant, and then now it's like he's came around. I don't really like the political or the platform it brought other people around and all that. For the simple fact, he didn't condone any of this. The media was just flushing him out. But now we have a new president who can barely probably wipe his own ass. Um, and there was 47 executive orders, and they put NAFTA back in, so we're in business with import and trade, where imported goods are going to be inflated again. We didn't have that. We were winning, and we were almost about to have democracy for China too. And we had peace with North Korea for the first time in years. Um, and now look at it, and Russia too. I mean, we just we like we're already in what, 4 wars already. I don't know how many wars it was already, but already it's not even a year into this presidency, and the dude is already at war. Look at all this. Boom. Huh. I remember one time when I was in San Diego before all the stalking was there. There was a guy I was hanging out with. We were eating dinner. One of the coworkers. He wasn't a stalker. He actually didn't really like people. He just wanted to hang out with people one on one. said most people are just full of shit. He's he said to me one time, he's like, you got a good heart on you. Don't let people deceive you, man. I know, I get it. Uh, you know, and he was talking about a guy that his property he worked on, and he said to me, "Is it normal that there's cameras everywhere in his house, inside and out?" And there was a woman uh, uh, behind us that says, "No, that's not normal. It's invasion of privacy." It's like that's even worse than stalking. And I don't think she was part of it either. She knew it was up. We were all in one little circle, and I think there was gang stalkers around us. I don't get it. I really don't. All right, guys. That completed my video. You already knew what time it was. You saw everything. All right, man.